Alrighty, folks. Howdy, howdy. Good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. Pay no attention to the sign. Anyway, hello. Rune, I think you... Let's see. Rune, you're the only one who's joined in the chat, so hopefully a few others will join on. This isn't going to be long. I'm just going to pick on a little padlock that I have here. Kind of taking a break from studying at the moment. I've been studying till my eyes got really crossed this week. And I hope that we're going to have a good study session this Saturday. I'm not sure who's going to be on there. But hello, Wallers and James Randolph. Good afternoon. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm not sure if I'm going to wind up having a guest this Saturday or not. I would like to, of course, but I don't have anything lined up. So, hopefully I'm still going to be live Saturday regardless, because that'll be the last Saturday before my test, which is not this Saturday, but next, May the 1st. So hopefully that will go well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live at all that week. I'll be off that Wednesday. I may do one, but I'm not sure. So anyway, let's see. Hey, Alpha Centauri. Good evening, where you are. Yeah, James got the first like. Yeah, if you're on here, if you wouldn't mind clicking that thumbs up button, it doesn't give me any money, but it helps to get my channel out there in recommendations and such. So, I like to have my videos out there because hopefully they'll help somebody else. Anyway, yeah, I really didn't have anything planned at all for today. Kind of slept in this morning because I'm off today, which normally I'm off on Wednesdays, and this is done on Wednesdays, and I sort of have a plan, but this week's kind of all messed up with my work schedule and everything. So, yeah, I'm out here today. Wallers, thank you. But yeah, I just I wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been commenting and supporting me. My vlog series has been going fairly well. I may record another episode for that, maybe tomorrow or this weekend sometime. Anyway, I appreciate everybody. Sorry, my train of thought kind of went off track for a second. Anyway, I really do appreciate everybody supporting me, everybody, emailing me, contacting me, offering to help me study, and I've replied back to all of that I can, to all the comments and everything. But I really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully things will go all right. Sorry, it's really, really dry out here in the shop. We have not had hardly any rain this month at all, so the humidity is 50% outside right now. We're actually under a fire watch, and also this morning, temperatures got way down, below freezing, and so the air is just super, super dry. So my throat is super, super dry. Let's see, pop out chat and pop out video. Yeah, James, normally when I join in on Jason's live, I'll use the pop-out chat. And also, with doing the Zoom videos, the Zoom lives, I've been using the pop-out chat from my own live to be able to keep everything in place on the screen, if that makes sense. And seems to work pretty well. So yeah, pop-out chat is pretty nice to have. But anyway, I just let's see. Resolution, yes, we're supposed to get rain all day. Saturday, this coming Saturday, which I love rainy days, so I'm looking forward to it. But we honestly really need it. The pollen has been horrendous this year. The dry air has also just, it's been unseasonably dry here, and you know, I'm glad I'm not in the fire department anymore, because I know we would be getting, you know, brush and grass fires left and right. But yeah, it's just been super dry out here. You know, you could probably make beef jerky just by hanging it out here in the shop if you really wanted to. Dry it out pretty well. But anyway, we're not gonna experiment with that and see. But yeah, it normally late April through May is kind of our really rainy season. But again, we've not had any rain at all, so it's just been so dry. Anyway, today I wanted to look at a little Mako padlock that I got a while back. It was actually a couple years ago I got it. This is one of their SFIC padlocks. Takes the best A2 style core, and I had some video recorded of it when I first got it, but I never actually put it together in a video. And getting ready for right now, I went looking and I could not find the keys anywhere. I know they are here in the shop somewhere, but I just, I have no clue. Like, I have looked all over these shelves over here, all over the key bench, just everywhere, and I have not been able to find them. I've looked through the cabinet, the drawers, the shelves over here, the junk pile, everything, and it just, yeah, they're not anywhere. So we're gonna have to try to pick this thing. We're gonna pick it to control, hopefully control, and also operating, because I want to be able to remove the core and compare it to just a regular best A2 core that I have laying around. Let's see. Wow. Just had snow? Yeah. I'm done with, I'm really done with cold weather. I really don't like cold weather. I really don't. Today is a little warmer outside, I think, than what they thought it was going to get up to, but we've been in the low to mid 70s for about the last week or so, and anyway, it like I said, it dropped way down. It was like 29 degrees here this morning, just a little bit before I got up. So it was really cold here, but again, there's no moisture. It's warmed up. It's probably, well, it is 74 out here in the shop right now, according to the thermometer. But you know, outside I'd say it's probably about 64 maybe. It is a little bit cooler outside. But, let's see. Full screen video. Okay. Yeah, Rune, that's a good setup. Eventually, one day, my goal is to convert the back bedroom of my house into an office space. I just haven't had the time or resources to do that yet. And I've got plenty of time to do what I need to with the house, but when I do that, I do want to have multiple monitors set up. Actually get like a desktop computer and have multiple monitors set up for, somewhat for that reason. But when I worked in 911, we actually had a total of 5 monitors, and that got upgraded after I left, and I believe they have 7 or 8 per workstation now. So lots of stuff to look at. But yeah, multiple monitors is nice. Okay. All right. So let's get pointed down here at the bench, and we'll start looking at this Mako Padlock. Like I said, I'm not going to stay on here long today because, for one, just because it is so dry out here, and for two, like I said, I've just got other stuff kind of going on today as well. The way I like to pick these locks is the best A2 is I actually like to use bottom of the keyway tension, and then use a short hook like the Sparrow's Tron to go up top, and just kind of start feeling my way in there for a binder. And of course, there are no security pins in here. And unlike master keyed locks, there are 2 distinct shear lines in here. And so you can't, mix and match, because with a standard pin tumbler that has master keying, the master wafers can actually give you more of an advantage, because there's only 1 shear line. But with these, you have to have more than, you have, 2 shear lines, 1 for operating, 1 for control, and they are physically separated in there. So you have to get everything to where it is supposed to be. There we go. That way y'all can get a better look. And it's been a while since I picked this one. I know I can pick it. And I don't find picking best cores to be really challenging. If you practice it, you just have to be careful not to, you just have to be cognizant of the fact that there are 2 shear lines. And I just go kind of 1 click at a time. And I wish I could find the keys, because then we could compare the bitting, because I know that I had a control key along with 2 operating keys. And the control key, if you're not familiar with IC locks, the control key allows you to rotate the locking lug out of the way to remove the core. Let's see. I did some finishing work on. Well, I was going to show you all this. This is one of the pics that Ronald sent me, which, Ronald, hello. Good afternoon. This is the handle I made for it. Didn't turn out quite exactly the way I wanted it to. I didn't intend for all these contours. So anyway, my hand's kind of cramping because of that. So because of that, I am going to cheat just a little bit and use a vise to come in and hold this for me. Yeah, James, Mako, their SFIC are actually pretty cheap. So if you want something in good condition to have in your collection, I would go check them out. Mako locks, and they're based here in the U.S., down in Florida. Really, really good folks there. They've done a lot to send out to the lock sport community. And just really, really kind of active, really good company, small business, which I always try to support small business when I can. Now I'm keeping fairly stout tension on this. Probably just a little more than what I should. Like I said, I've been able to pick it before. And for some reason, for me, it's typically easier to get to operating than it is control. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of flexing the tensioner as I go and feel the different pins. That way I don't overset something, but I don't completely bind it all up. Let's see. Let me try with a different tensioner, just to see if that'll make a difference. I know switching picks won't really make a difference because there's not a whole lot of room to get up in there anyway. So using a short hook will definitely be the key. No pun intended. And just go through and feel click by click. if worse comes to worse, and for some reason I can't get this one, I will try to pick this best SFIC that I have. Sorry, I'm not giving a blow-by-blow on each of these pins. It's just dropping a bunch in there too, so I've definitely got my binding order out of whack. Look at the chat for a second. Yeah, Rune, you're completely correct. SFIC, and of course I don't have experience out there in the field with people calling for SFIC locks. But yeah, I mean, I can completely see where people would get one of these systems and then forget where the control key is, because the whole point of an SFIC system is being able to rekey a lock quickly. And I can see it being used in like a college dorm setting, because I know of several state universities that still use best keys, an SFIC system. And so it works great for them. But they would typically have their own in-house locksmith. So they keep up with everything fairly well. But, outside of that type of setting, unless if you have your own in-house locksmith, you're going to lose the control key, and you're going to have somebody come out, figure out the control key bitting, and then also, repin it for a new change key. Yeah. Ronald, LFIC is LFIC is basically the same thing, only larger than this. That's large format interchangeable core or interchangeable cylinder. And it has just a bigger footprint to it, really. I think I have. Since the picking is not strong with me today, yes. Here we go. This is a Schlage. It's going to be a Schlage LFIC. And you can see where the face of the plug is bigger on the LFIC. And then here over on the best, it's going to be smaller. The Bible is a little bit larger. But you can see basically, this basically shows the size comparison. So you're not going to fit this into this lock. It's not bored out for it. You can get padlocks for LFIC, but most interchangeable core, I believe, is going to be small format. Let's see. James, yeah, sometimes I will take pictures of locks if I'm out and about. I had a buddy of mine sent me a picture, and I posted it on Twitter the other day. But he was out doing some work for his job, and a door to a radio electronics shed had a big Medico sign over it, and underneath was a Schlage B series lock with a Schlage keyed to Schlage. Yeah, so he sent me a picture of that. That's over on my Twitter. Yeah, I have not found any. I've not found any asses in the wild. Hi, Dennis. Glad you're able to join in. Not much going on today. Just picking on a Mako SFIC padlock. Trying to see if I can get it open. I've done it before. I promise. But yeah. And the other thing with interchangeable core, it's great in theory that you can go and rekey a lock just by pulling one cylinder out and putting another one in there. But again, you're still going to have to spend the time pinning your replacement cylinder, cutting the keys for it, and then going to install it. Yeah, installation might not take long, but you're still going to have, about the same amount of time tied up in it. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Yeah, James, I have one of those crappy key boxes somewhere, and actually, Bosnian Bill did a video on it not too long ago. I'll have to pull it out. I actually have to kind of rewatch his video, because I'm not great with decoding those wheeled combination locks. I know how to do it. I just don't have a good decoder shim. Okay. I'm just going through, seeing what I can get out of each one of these pin stacks. Yeah, James, actually down here, or probably up there, you can find Medico locks on every Coinstar machine that you come across. Which, for those of you outside the U.S., the Coinstar is basically just an automatic coin counting and sorting machine. You basically just dump all your loose change into it, and it will give you a voucher, it'll give you a voucher to go either get cash from the cashier at the store that you're at, or bank that you're at, and then or it'll give you like a gift certificate card, something like that. But they have a combination of simple wafer locks as well as Mako cam locks, and also all of the automated lottery ticket machines here have Mako cam locks on them as well. Okay, James. Yeah. That's what some of these little shims that I have sitting back here on the bench are. Just the metal out of the inventory control tags. Okay, this lock's starting to make me mad, y'all. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to set this aside because he's starting to make me upset. So, we're going to switch over to this one, which is just a regular best. I want to test it. I do have the keys for it. Just wanted to make sure that it's got enough room to be able to turn freely. Maybe I'll get this one picked to control. You guys can see how that lug works to lock it in, because I don't have any other best locks. I don't believe. No. I do, but I can't find them. Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, getting into it, I believe it is not cheap at all. Because you have to, not only for the cylinders and the keys, but you also have to pay for all the door hardware, because these don't attach into the door hardware like a regular key and knob cylinder does. Again, they have the locking lug on the side, and you know what? Hang on. Yes, these guys are just shot on the live stream, but I forgot. This. Really? Okay. Haha. Okay, here we go. Forgot I had this guy. This is the Avis 83 IC40. It also has a best core. And then where this was, I found the keys for the Mako hiding. So there would be your operating key, your change key, and then this would be your control key. You can see how the bitting is different on your control key. You have higher cuts here and here, a lower cut there, a higher cut there, and then a very lower cut there. But basically what you do, what I was saying as far as switching out the cylinders, is you put your control key in, and then this is what I really want to show some of you guys. You put in your control key, and then you turn it, and that's as far as it turns. And then you can just pull the cylinder out like that. Now this has Mako's actuator, which does just slide into the back here on these holes. You have a spacer because some of these are 6-pin and some are 6-pin, some are 7-pin. But this locking lug right here is what keeps it in, and the control key rotates that away. So that's what allows you to actually remove it from the lock. Of course, you use a change key in there, and that lug does not move, but the cylinder does, or the plug does turn, and you have your actuator on the back. So yeah, that's how that works. In case if you've never seen that before. And then the theory is for SFIC or any interchangeable core, is you have a lock that you need rekeyed. So you simply come along, remove the old cylinder with the control key, pop in the new one, check the function, and you move on to the next door that needs to be changed. Again, very useful, like for a college dorm situation, where at the at the end of the semester, you would go through and have an entire hallway of doors that you need to rekey. You would go ahead and rekey a series of these for that door, master key them if you need to, and then go through, pull out the old, switch it out, put your new one. And this one, yes, is missing a cylinder cap in the second chamber. But we can see one of the reasons why this guy is so difficult to pick. So you can see Mako actually put in security pins in here. And I lied a little bit ago when I said there were no security pins. I forgot Mako did do that, and they put in these very, very nice serrated pins in there to try to keep pickers like me out, and they succeeded. Anyway, so let's see. Let's look. Rune, you were right. It was faster to find the keys. Rune, I don't know. I mean, if you have a 7-chamber, a 7-chamber lock with a 7-cut key, you could get, if you only mastered 4 of the chambers, then you wouldn't have as many ghost keys, and it would be harder to pick. I mean, regardless of if it's interchangeable core or not, having more cylinder or more chambers, then you could leave several of them alone and have more pick resistance, and maybe not have as many ghost keys. I don't know. Let's see. $350 for the pins and the decoder. Okay. Now, Dennis, is that just for the kit, or is that that's for the pin kit and the pin decoder, where you can cut new ones? Again, here you can see this one actually did not come with a cylinder when I bought the lock, so I had to order an IC core for it. But you can see the actuator is really the only thing different. It just pops in like that, but the lug is still there to retain it. In fact, we can try picking this one just to see maybe a difference, because Mako did put all of those security pins in there, and I had forgotten about those. So let's do that. Let's see the difference here. We'll see how far we can get with this, and then probably call it a day. I wasn't going to go very long today, too. Just master one chamber, and then drop the change keys 2 steps below the master. Okay. Yeah, that way, dropping the change keys to a lower cut than the master prevents people from filing down the key to make it into a master. Let's see. Ronald, a ghost key would be on a master key system where you cut a key without a plan, and basically you cut a key that is supposed to be a change key, which is an end user key. In other words, in a mastered building, if you had an office in a mastered building and your key was supposed to only work your office, you go in, you would put your key in the door, turn it, it would unlock. That is a change key. The master key, of course, is the key that will go and unlock all of the doors on the same hallway as your office. A ghost key is one that is cut to a certain bitting within a master keyed system, and it basically acts as a master. It has cuts in the right places to the right depths to where it will allow you, basically you think that your office key only opens your office door. If you go around that entire hallway or around the entire building, putting that key into every lock that you can find, if yours was a ghost key, then it would open up more than just your office, and that would not be by design. It would be by accident, and that's a bad accident to have in a mastered system. Yep, just what James and Rune just said in the thing. So yeah, hey, that helped me study for my test. So we can count a little bit of studying out of this session today too. Let's see if I can get through here. I know this one does not have any security pins. I've got pretty heavy tension on this thing. Yeah, rune, okay. Any mix of change and master cuts. Yep. The hold and vary is a good way to prevent ghost keys. Okay. That's where, what, Dennis? That's where I've not heard that specific term the way that you put it before, but I'm gonna guess that's where you hold, say, 3 cuts in the key and then vary only 2. Is that correct? It's been a long time since I've picked either of these. This one I do have on video. From a very long time ago. Okay, so you Dennis, you keep just one, you only vary one chamber. Okay, so that would be like on my little master system that I played with a while back, where instead of varying like the last 2 cuts, you would only vary 1 cut. So your change key would look like this, but then your master key would have a higher cut down here at this last one, because this last pin is what I varied. That's catchy. I don't like that. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like that too, because that does give you a little more okay. Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, 6-pin lock, you only vary 1 chamber in there between your change keys and your master key. Yeah, that would be cool. Because then it would give you more pick resistance as well. And you could have a master keyed cylinder with security pins. Whereas normally, like, James and Ronald, if you haven't seen it before, I know with master keyed, like I was talking earlier, master keyed locks that have master wafers in multiple cylinders or multiple chambers of the cylinder, they are easier to pick because you just have to raise it up to that first wafer, And it doesn't really allow for security pins like spools or mushroom or serrated pins to get in the way to help slow down picking. And also, you might not have enough room for that in some locks. So you would have, so with what Dennis is talking about, you could have, say, 5 chambers. You would have 5 chambers that are all the same. You could do a good up-down bidding on them. One of those you'd want to have a standard pin just to make the cylinder work smoothly. 4 you would have security pins in, and then the 6th chamber is where you could have all your master wafers located. Yeah, that would be really, really good to make a good pick resistant master keyed cylinder. And I love Rune's theory of make the master key bidding a higher cut than the change key. That way somebody can't take a change key and file it down into a master key. Okay. Just going to give this a couple more seconds just to see. Just to see if I can pick it again. Probably not. If the darn thing was master keyed, it'd be easier. All right. Another benefit of the SFIC is that if you follow one of the best, which best is a brand name, is Best Locks. If you follow their standard, like A2 is the common standard, you can create your locks to accept it or order all hardware to accept that, which allows you to do this really, really easily. Make sure the actuator is the right way. Put it in there, and boom. Now, this lock no longer takes this key won't even go in. So you've changed the key section and repinned it, but it still works. Because it's all standardized and different manufacturers will follow the same standards. So, yeah, I mean, SFIC can be pretty cool. And I think that if it was used as intended, then is very useful. It's a very, very useful system. But again, most of the time people, either you have an in-house locksmith who handles all this, or you have a either you have a locksmith who handles all this and knows where the control key is, or you don't, and then an outside locksmith gets called in and you've got a mess to fix. So let's see. Let's look here. Yeah, Rune works better with restricted blanks. Yeah. Ronald, I don't know if that was what you were saying lost you with the restricted blanks. Basically, a restricted blank is one that you can't just go to Lowe's or just any old locksmith to get a copy of. Is that the keyway, the actual shape of the key, is unique, and the manufacturer only sells it to people that they contract with. So, in other words, I could, as a locksmith or Dennis or Rune or Jason or whoever, a locksmith could get their own keyway shape, and it would be sold just to them. You can do dedicated, which is really expensive, because the lock manufacturer has to actually create machining tools and dies and whatnot to create the blanks and the actual plug cylinders that go into the lock. Or you can do regionally restricted, which is basically where I can have a keyway here and nobody else, no other locksmiths within, say, 300 miles of me can have that same keyway. So that would be a restricted blank. It would be basically to where you would have to come to me to get copies of keys made. And so if you own, like, let's say you own an office building and you restrict, the access to it using just regular keys, you can have me as a locksmith have just special blanks for your building. And if you needed copies of keys, you could come to me, or you could send somebody who works for you to come to me. And when you would bring me that blank, I would make sure that, hey, yeah, you're the one that I set this system up for. You're getting a copy of it. Whereas if somebody shows up and says, hey, can you make this key for me? I've gone to several other places and they cut a key, but it won't work in the lock. It won't go in. Then I know it's somebody trying to pull one over, and I'll say, no, you have to have the authorization paper from the building owner to get a copy of that key. So it's an extra security step for restricted key blanks and key sections. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So I've been going on for a while now. And my throat is about as dry as sandpaper. So I'm going to go back into the house. I'm going to let y'all go. Appreciate everybody showing up. Everybody joining in the chat. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. In this, doing this sort of stuff where things come up, me thinking and sort of working through the issues in my mind also helps me study, because I was reading about restricted blanks, A2 systems, is a lot to take in. And so when we do these chats and everything, I'm looking, then I might not be able to pick worth a daggone, but I can get my brain going thinking about these other things, because if I think things out loud, then a lot of times they make more sense, which is why people look at me crazy sometimes. Anyway, let's see. Mako, you can get a personal pin height angle. Oh, okay. Well, that's really cool, Rune. I didn't know that. Huh. So you could actually use standard non-restricted blanks for Mako, the open keyways. But you have personal pin height and rotation specifications. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Huh. I like that, actually. Anyway, all right, guys. Sorry, got lost in thought for a second. Anyway, yes, the hour has gone by fairly quickly. Even though I didn't really have anything and I got started late. This Saturday, please tune in. I'm not sure who will be guest starring this Saturday. I know Ken _ sent me an email and he's interested in doing a live with me. I just don't know if it'll be this Saturday or not. So this Saturday may wind up sort of like today, where we just brainstorm. I don't know. I may talk with Jeff or I know Jason probably only have restricted Medico there. Okay. All right. Hey, GQ man. Yeah, just in time. To wrap it up. Anyway, so we'll figure something out for this Saturday. But y'all have a great evening, great rest of your afternoon, depending on where you are. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you next time.